Here we are on Monday after a big weekend of some sports, so let's talk with our guy, Pep. What's going on, Pep?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody out there. We were talking before we got on the air that you said, hey, Pep, you're the only guy that had your NFL team this weekend. I'm like, well, yeah, because I went head-to-head with 40, and the Eagles and the 49ers won that game 17-11. That's a weird score. And then I really thought the Seahawks would defend Seattle and hold off the Tennessee Titans. But man, Tennessee came back, which Tennessee looked so bad in the first week. Then they turn around and win in Seattle, which is one of the toughest places to win in the league. So after 2 weeks of the NFL, we haven't really figured anything out.
No, it's kind of up and down.
Especially when you have the Raiders leading their division. Chiefs 1-1.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think aren't the Broncos 2-0 as well? Or do I have that wrong?
No, Broncos and Raiders are atop of that division, but Raiders are just the loudest ones you'll hear.
Yeah.
I heard Raiders so much this weekend.
Get ready.
No, but think about it. The Raiders are in first place in the AFC North because they beat the Baltimore Ravens, right, on Monday Night Football, and then they turn around and they go on the road to Pittsburgh and they beat the Steelers 26-17. Guys, the Raiders are 2-0, but it's not like they're 2-0 because they beat, Jacksonville and then maybe, I don't know, the New York Jets. No, they beat the Ravens and the Steelers. Say what you want about the silver and black, but those are two really good wins.
Oh, yeah, we're hearing about it.
And Derek Carr has looked really good, other than, it looked like there was a moment where he was going to get out of the game again, the usual injury-prone Derek Carr, but then he hops up, pulls the Paul Pierce, and they still win.
Out of the wheelchair, into the game.
Yeah, and you know what? And John Gruden is quick to defend him. He's telling everybody, hey, this is the Derek Carr I knew we always had. And maybe it's because they have a complete team now that they look really good on the field. But yeah, Derek Carr's had like 4 games, over 300 yards passing. He was fantastic against the Steelers, almost 400 against the Steelers yesterday. So yeah, Derek Carr is 2 games in. He's an MVP frontrunner 2 games into the season. But the Raiders look really good. And yeah, if you would have said the Raiders and Broncos are tied for first and the Chiefs and the Chargers are both 1-1, I'd be like, man, what kind of world are we living in? What is going on right now?
Not what you would expect.
The NFL's a tough place.
Man, it is so tough out there. And again, all those assumptions we made after week 1, like, oh, the New Orleans Saints are going to be really good and they're going to score a lot of points. Well, that did not happen yesterday. Nope. You know what I mean? Like the Titans look so awful against the Cardinals in the first week, and then they go on the road to Seattle. And Patrick, nobody wins in Seattle, but the Titans turn things around.
Right, that has changed a little bit. And they even had huge injuries, dude. They were missing their best offensive lineman, Taylor Lewin, or whatever his name is. He's their blindside. He is the best. And Derrick Henry still can't be stopped.
I mean, he got headlines for being pretty much the guy who was going up against Chandler Jones in week 1, letting up 5 sacks for the most part. He even went on Twitter and said, like, that guy is amazing. And then, yeah, a weird pregame injury. His knee gives out or something like that, so he's ruled out for the game. And then Derrick Henry, just in the second half of that game, was just unleashed.
Just crazy. That guy is so unbelievable. And you know what I mean? Like he's the workhorse. That you know what they're going to do, defensively. You're like, hey, we got to stack the box. We have to stop Derrick Henry. Make Ryan Tannehill the quarterback pass and beat us. Make him do that. And even when you know the run is coming, you still can't stop Derrick Henry.
I mean, he's the size of a linebacker, and you kind of think of him as the bruising guy, but then you see him get out into some space, and he is fast.
Yeah, 60-yard run just all the way into the end zone. Couldn't be stopped.
Oh, just unfair. So Seattle took a tough loss at home for Seattle, but also in the NFC West, you did have the Rams win again, going on the road to Indianapolis. They beat the Colts 27-24. They came back. They took the lead. They held on to it. And guys, again, that's the hallmark of a championship team, right? When you go on the road and you find a way to win those close games.
Tough start for Carson Wentz, and now Hard Knocks is going to follow him for the whole rest of the season.
I think Hard Knocks is kind of licking their lips at the drama, though, that we might be seeing in Indy with, like, Carson Wentz once again getting hurt, trying to fight through it. But then on the other side, you have Matt Stafford, who is just the guy who will get hurt and keep gritting it out. He hit his throwing hand on a helmet, thumb injury, but he keeps playing. Like, keeps getting the ball to Cooper Kupp, who had an amazing day.
Yeah, Carson Wentz with his head in his hands. I was like, uh-oh,
man,
here we go. He's hurt.
Yeah. Carson Wentz, man, the least durable guy in the league right now. And on the flip side, Matt Stafford's looked fantastic through 2 games, and 40, I think you brought it up, the Stafford to Cooper Kupp connection. Dude, unbelievable, man. They've been fantastic through the first 2 games, and they look like they're going to be unstoppable. Even though Cooper Kupp's going to be that number 1 target for Stafford, he still finds a way to get open and score touchdowns.
Yeah, he was killing it.
Yeah. Hey, we mentioned the Chargers are 1-1. Just real quick, the Chargers, they lost to the Dallas Cowboys because I know we got some Cowboy fans across the Inland Empire. They're rockers too, so they're probably waiting to hear that score. The Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17 on a 56-yard field goal as time expired. So how about them Cowboys coming out to Los Angeles and beating a Chargers team that, I thought the Lightning Bolts were actually going to hold on and get a win at home in LA, but no, the Cowboys snuck up on them.
It was only a home game by location. You look at that stadium, Cowboy fans everywhere.
Yeah, we hear a lot of Raiders and a lot of them boys, so be ready.
Cowboys took over that stadium, and then I think that was like 20 flags in that whole game, 12 of them for like 100 yards on the Chargers. Just a bad game.
Yeah.
Listen, they're among us. We know them. They're Raider fans. They're Cowboy fans. They're everywhere. They're among us. So they travel well too. If they're not a Cowboy or Raider fan in Southern California, they still travel well. So yeah, the Cowboys and Raider fans are everywhere. And the best part is they love to tell you about it when they win. Right? That's the best part.
Yeah, exactly. They love hanging those wins on you.
Long way.
Guys, tonight on Monday Night Football, we've got the Packers and the Lions. We've got to see, can Green Bay bounce back with Aaron Rodgers and try to score some points? They looked so miserable in that first week. Can they do it tonight against a lowly Lions team?
I mean, I could easily see it with how up and down the NFL is. I could see the Packers completely turn it around.
I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is hoping for that after just getting benched basically week 1. Wow. He's got to come out and do something tonight.
Yeah, again, all those assumptions, everything we thought we knew after week 1, a lot of those things got flipped on its head and it was not true at all come week number 2. So maybe those could be one of the things. The Green Bay looked so bad in week 1. Maybe they'll look fantastic tonight in week 2, but it's the Detroit Lions. So just that's the caveat there in tonight's matchup.
Maybe a dangerous game, I always think. It's kind of a part of me it's kind of a part of me rooting for Jared Goff for some reason. I kind of want him to do well because he got traded away.
Those in-division games are always tough. People kind of see the Lions as the lowly Lions, but they've done a lot to change it up this year. They got a new coach who's electric.
Very funny.
Absolutely electric. And we'll see if Goff can keep it going over there in Detroit.
Yeah, I kind of want to see Goff do well too. I feel like he didn't get a fair shake. He was written off. He got the Rams to a Super Bowl, man. Come on. But now he's in Detroit and trying to win with a team that hasn't really won in a long time. That's a hard thing to do. So.
I fear if they keep losing, Dan Campbell's just going to strap on pads and play linebacker himself.
Yeah, Motor City Dan is going to get out there on the field himself, Pat.
He's intense, man. He drinks like I don't know how many Monsters or Red Bulls, and he's just ready to go. He's a super intense Lions coach.
And he even said in one of his press conferences before the season that as he was building his coaching staff, he took Deuce Staley away from the Eagles as their running back coach in Detroit now, and he was saying he built it up with players who. He's like, I don't know what the COVID rules are going to be, but if we are shorthanded, I can throw some of my coaches in.
Yeah. See?
He's ready, man. He thought about everything. He's thought about everything.
They had to sign up some of their coaches to get on the field. That would be awesome.
Get in there, coach.
And guys, real quick to college football over the weekend, USC with their new interim head coach, Dante Williams, beating Washington State 45-14. We also saw backup quarterback Jackson Dart. He had 4 touchdown passes, one of them going to our guy, Gary Bryant Jr. from Centennial High School, his first touchdown with USC, but probably the first of many for our guy, Gary Bryant. It's USC. Again, no offense, Patrick. It's just Washington State, but it's still a big win on the road in the Pac-12. We'll take it.
It was looking ugly in the very beginning, but Jackson Dart, look at that name on that kid. The freshman came out and just balled.
Yeah, USC just stockpiles these quarterbacks, right? Not that Keaton Clovis is going to lose his starting job. Slovis is the guy, but Dart is pretty good too in that backup role.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's really good. And finally, UCLA, man, we got all excited. Having that huge win against LSU, great start to the season, but they lost on Saturday night against Fresno State, and the Bulldogs are very dangerous. But UCLA lost 40-37, already dropping to number 24 in the AP poll. So UCLA, hard to figure out after a couple games.
Right, football, same deal, up and down.
Pac-12, we can't have nice things forever. They always end up losing once they get really good.
That is very true. We'll have to see what happens next week, man. Maybe a completely different story once again. That's the way football works, it seems like.
Yeah, and the Pac-12, as great as we talked about them last week, they had a really rough weekend. So it's hard to figure out the Pac-12 as well, yeah.
So true. Pep, tell me how to get your stuff.
Oh, it's Inland Sports all over the social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We got the Inland Sports YouTube channel as well. Check out all the local stuff going on here in the Inland Empire.
Thanks, Pep.